Okay.
Oh shit.
So yeah, if you want,
Yo, that's an OG Porygon. Alright, I'm putting this shit away.
if you want to talk about Pokemon, we can change the podcast to like a Pokemon cards podcast.
Oh my god.
That would be the greatest thing ever.
Are we gonna do a triple clap this time?
Oh, I was thinking about ways to merge audio this time around. So I'm gonna say 1, and right after I say 1, Steven, you say 2, and then Elijah, you say 3.
Okay. Well, the question worked really well for me.
The question worked really well as well.
I didn't do the clap at all. The clap was way off. If you listen to it, the clap
Yeah,
was like
the clap is really
30
off.
seconds apart, but the question worked pretty well.
Yeah, it's just like, this is kind of a replacement for the question, because the question was like a 2-person thing. Because you can have 2 people responding to the question. That doesn't mean those 2 people are equal.
Is that why you're one?
So-
Are you better than us?
That
I
okay.
edit
that's
the
insane.
podcast.
Why am I
plan
last?
what we talk about.
Listen,
Yeah,
guys,
fuck
don't
you.
do this to me. All right, ready? Okay, how about this? Elijah, you be 1.
Okay, so say 3, 2, 1, but when you say
Oh my
1,
gosh.
Alex say 2. Does that make sense?
Okay, you say 1, I say 2, Steve, you say 3?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, ready? Set. 1.
2.
3.
Wow, Steve, you're a bit late on that.
Someone clap.
Oh, shit. That works.
Okay, so we
Oh
have
my
our first
gosh.
guest today. Elijah, would you
Yes,
like
we
to
do.
introduce yourself?
Oh, shit, wait.
Hello.
Oh,
I'm
hold on,
waiting.
we'll do it again.
Oh,
Perfect.
the good old. I actually just had a Red Bull.
I bought this on the
It came in an Amazon package on accident.
It came in a random Amazon
Yeah,
package?
like it came in like styrofoam package. Like whoever sent me the mail obviously meant to send the Red Bull.
That's great.
And then yeah, when I opened
Shit's
it,
expensive, dude.
it
It's
was
like
like-
$250 for like this 8
Red Bull
like
is
4
fucking
fluid ounce
expensive as
fucking
hell.
bottle. It's so gay.
I got it for free $99. So
Wow.
I literally only bought Red Bull for this podcast. I drink coffee twice.
I straight up bought a 12
fast
pack.
coffee
I
all
just
the way.
like make coffee like 3 times a day.
My friend's giving me a
Who
French
you telling?
press for free, so I'm really excited about
Right?
that. Yeah. I'm gonna
French
start
presses are nice. It's a nice heavy cup, full cup,
full cup, solid. Elijah,
full cup.
so this coffee thing, have you gotten into like the measuring the coffee bean to water ratio, like the 1 to 12? Like
Oh my god, the ratio is so
Dude, we could
important.
talk
Yeah,
about this
yeah,
the whole
I-
time. Just talk about your coffee the whole fucking time.
Right?
Seem like a demon
No, but,
track star. No one gives a shit. Coffee's more interesting.
Nah, nobody cares about that. I have a second life.
what the hell is a D1 track star?
Oh my gosh, what? No, but yeah, you definitely have to have ratios with your coffee. Like me, I like a little bit more water to the coffee ratio.
Okay.
So I have like a 16. I have a 1 to 16. So that's I guess 1 gram of coffee bean to 16 grams of water,
1 gram of the
and
good.
I definitely
1
like,
gram of good.
For me, it's just like pre-grounded beans in like this old machine, and I just literally, I always
nasty.
put,
That's nasty,
I always
Steve.
put
That's
more.
plebeian shit, Steve.
I always
What
put
are you?
way more than they say because I want it to be as strong as humanly fucking possible.
See, but the thing about that, people think that, but in actuality, if you put too much, you could over extract your coffee, and that just gives you a nasty, bitter taste.
What the
So,
fuck?
like,
This is
if you
wild.
find that good, like,
This
middle
is really
ground to your
informative.
personal preference, it's
Um,
great.
Oh, I was gonna say something about coffee, but I told. Wait, is it true that cold brew coffee, and because the cold brew coffee is like the most caffeine compared to like espresso has the least due to the fact that what is it? It's the longer the coffee beans seep, the more caffeine comes out.
Okay, so that kind of, so like,
Okay.
so for cold brew, the reason why cold brew is so strong is because it's a concentrate. So the way you make cold brew is basically you have the coffee grounds, right? You grind it to like a coarse grind. You let the water seep in it. And so basically after like 12 to 24 hours, whatever that water is like coffee water concentrate basically.
Oh shit.
And like also like the science going into it, the longer it sits, the more time the caffeine inside the bean has to like more caffeine goes into the water, because when you make an espresso, it's super super hot water at super super high pressure, and like I don't know the measurement for pressure, but it's like 9, whatever the unit is for espresso, and so but it's also super hot water, so that hot water can kind of let some of the caffeine escape without it. But like, so that cold brew, super concentrated, but the fall off is when it's super concentrated, it can be over extracted, which, like I said before,
Makes
super
it taste
bitter.
really bitter. Okay.
Yeah, but that's why a lot of people with cold brew, they'll add cream and sugar, and it's like amazing.
Yeah.
And it's perfect for summer. So
Dude, I just read a thing that said, well, one, coffee is the second most traded product in the world, which I didn't.
I like to hear that.
First is cocaine.
Probably it's not. Also,
Oh, shit.
when coffee manufacturers, like large-scale coffee manufacturers, decaf coffee, to make decaf coffee, they sell the caffeine.
It's an amazing
to
process.
Soda companies. Like that's where they get
Whoa.
the caffeine they put in the
Whoa.
sodas. That's a cool fucking fact.
That's pretty
That's
interesting.
cool.
Yeah.
I know with decaffeinating coffee, it's one of the coolest things I've ever heard. Like there's this one company in, I want to say Iceland or Greenland, whichever the one has the really good water. They basically just do like this filtration system of like the straight green bean. Like, so like coffee, starts off as a green bean off the cherry.
Yeah.
And like they'll just like run it through this water processor like 6 times. And each time it gets less caffeinated. To
Because
the point where it gets like below their level of caffeine intake or whatever it is inside the bean. And I'm like, oh, that's
dope.
crazy.
and then I assume they send like the caffeinated leftovers to like the companies that need the caffeine, like you were saying earlier, where they send it to like the soda companies and stuff. Something.
Yeah, that's super cool.
My girlfriend is like passionately addicted to caffeine or coffee, just in general. She fucking loves
She
it.
drinks a lot of coffee.
She drinks a fuck ton of coffee, and then she'll drink decaf
Hey, man,
like
same.
anytime after like 5 p.m. She'll just drink decaf, and she's always fucking drinking coffee.
Oh wow, that's actually more than me. That's
Yeah,
intense.
she says it like barely affects her anymore, but like if she doesn't drink it, she just hates her life.
See, I'm an energy
Yeah.
drink fiend, so I'm like, I'm gonna die young, and I know this is a fact.
Yeah, rest in peace to your livers.
Yeah, dude, fuck
I'm
that.
so fucked.
I'm too dumb for
I think-
drink coffee.
Second semester of last year, almost every night, I went and got like an energy drink called a Blue Rebel from this
That
this
already
thing
sounds
in
terrible.
It's this thing in Arizona called Dutch Bros, and it's like a Red Bull, but it's kind of like sweeter, and they mix stuff into it, so it's like a mixed drink, except a Red Bull, and that shit would fuck me up, and I'd be up till 2 every night, and I'm like, why am I up so late? Well, that's why.
Oh my gosh.
But anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
everyone,
coffee-
welcome to our 4th pod.
Coffee is actually like healthy for you. You know that, right? Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't
zero-
do
zero-
anything bad to you. It's if anything,
zero
it's good for
calories.
you as long as you're not like addicted to it.
I mean, it's just
Well, in
fucking bean
moderation,
water.
yeah.
Like, how bad could it be?
Everything in moderation, even moderation.
Yeah.
We
Mm.
quoted that.
As a shout
on
out
the
to
first
Steven,
podcast.
I'm going to drink a lot of Red Bull right now.
That's a shout out to me, like getting drunk every once in a while.
Okay.
I told Alex that I thought he sounded drunk because his voice sounds a little different because he's like sick, and he's like,
Yeah.
"You're drunk? What, Steve? What the fuck?"
It's been a rough couple days.
No, dude,
But
we
yeah.
need to do a podcast with like someone who knows a lot about weed and smoke before. I feel like that'd be fucking hilarious.
Oh Jesus Christ! And here we have the Wilkins twins.
Dude,
Right.
Matt's a podcast. He's told me that he's going home to Austin, not this weekend, but the next, to hang out with that Michelle girl. To do like
And he's
level-
recording a podcast with
And
her.
he's gonna get drunk with her and record the podcast. And I was like, oh,
Wait, so he's starting a
yeah.
podcast?
He started,
Yeah, that's-
he 100% was like, oh, that's a good idea. So I'm gonna start my own podcast.
Ah.
I know.
And the rivalry begins.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Between tall
we're,
and
we're
taller.
not
and-
original either, but like, if any of our close friends do it, I'm gonna be a little sus, talk some shit.
It's like, so guys,
course.
don't go to this other podcast here. They suck. They're lame.
Or go listen to them, realize that they're trash, and come back to y'all.
Yeah. Just talk a bunch of shit about it.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been so like bored being up here in College Station, but not having school, that I've been like every single like morning I check our like stats, our downloads, and like put them in a fucking Google sheet. Dude, episode 2 is like so much fucking more popular than the 3rd one.
Episode 2?
Yeah, by a long shot.
It's because episode...
Um,
oh, no, yeah, I don't know.
Y'all not in school yet?
I'm in
Y'all
school.
both are. I'm not.
Okay.
This was my first week. I just finished my first week. It was a long week, dude. Those first 2 days were like.
You said
2
just
years.
finished?
Yeah, no,
You
I
don't
mean,
have a Friday
I
class?
have a single class on Friday at like 1.
Oh my gosh, must be nice.
Oh, it's nice. But
My days don't end. 7 days a week.
Okay, so episode 2
Jesus
had a
Christ.
total of 230 views, like across all the platforms.
really,
And episode 3.
I don't even know
had
230 people.
Episode 3 only had 166. Episode 1 had 156.
Why is episode 2 have so many more views?
Because episode 2 had 137 views or downloads on TalkShoe, which is only iTunes, because we don't have anything else on there. 17
Dude, I
views
straight
on
up-
SoundCloud and 77 views on YouTube.
Dude, I straight up don't know. Like, I don't know that many people.
Dude,
like,
I
where are these
posted
people coming
I
from?
posted it on my Instagram story, and like 500 people saw it, and that like bumped it up by a decent bit.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think we gave Elijah a proper introduction yet, or at least we did.
I think I said he could have introduced himself, but we just got right into coffee.
Oh yeah, but anyways, guys, this is our friend Elijah. He's our first guest on the show. So everyone give him those little snaps. There you go.
Straight snaps.
Yeah,
all
snaps
around.
around.
Straight snaps.
He is a coffee aficionado. And
Yes.
yeah.
He's probably like Elijah's probably the most supportive person when it comes to the
Yeah.
podcast. Like, there's a handful of people that always like text me, and I'm sure it's the same for you guys. Or like, this is what I think about that one or that one. But Elijah's definitely like always hitting us up like this, like right when we
Oh, yeah.
upload the episode. So that's why I
Yeah.
hit you up first.
I don't know if that's a testament that I don't do anything other than just listen to podcasts, or
Same, man.
I'm really supportive. I'll take
I
both.
think a little both. This is
Um,
where we're at right now.
I mean,
But yeah, that's my introduction. My little
He's
I'm
a
a coffee
number one
fiend.
fan. Dude, the
number
tall
one
and taller is
fan of
number
tall
one
and taller.
fan. Oh, great.
Also,
That's a good title.
if you want to be a guest, hit me up. I'm gonna probably hit up Isaiah, maybe Jake, probably, maybe
Oh,
even
God.
Matt Wilkins. Maybe I'm a
Oh,
little,
God.
a little salty that he decided to start his own podcast, but I can't like shit.
Maybe we could
Hey, man, you gotta
invite him on.
collaborate.
We should invite him on and be like, so how does it feel being worse than us?
I feel like we could
Ooh.
collaborate with him, but I genuinely feel like there's no way he'll get as many downloads as us. Because I don't think he
I don't
knows
know,
that
man.
many people that we don't know.
Oh, jeez,
I'm
dude,
gonna be
Steve.
humble brag.
You're really
I'm
hitting
gonna
him
be
hard.
dead ass. I'm gonna be dead ass. I'm sorry. That was an asshole thing to say now that I think
That's
about
pretty
it.
fucking savage, Steve. I don't know if we allow that kind of savagery on the podcast. This is a safe space.
It's a safe space.
This is a
Safe
safe space.
Dude, episode 2, we just flamed him. Like,
You flamed him.
That's what
You
I'm
flamed
Yeah, I
him.
did flame him.
You flamed him. I took no part. I
Maybe-
stayed as
maybe.
far away from that as I could.
Maybe that's why it was the most popular one. I think I told Matt that the second one was our most popular one. He's like, it's because you roasted me, and I was like, yeah.
I mean, it might be, man. You never
Jake
know.
Lilly thought it was fucking hilarious. He couldn't get over it.
Oh, so when you say Jake, you mean
Yeah,
Galooly?
Lilly listens to
Oh,
our
I guess
podcast
first
on a
last
regular
name,
basis.
wow.
Biederman also told me that I told both of y'all that Biederman listens. I don't
Yeah.
know if he still does, but he did listen to the first 2, which I thought was pretty cool.
It's pretty interesting seeing like the people that do and don't actually listen to the podcast.
I don't really
Like,
blame
'cause-
anyone for not listening.
No, I mean like I don't either. Like it's kind of just like why the hell would anyone check in? You know, it's just me and Steve talking most of the time. But just like the most like random people, like some person like from high school that I barely talked to was like, "Yo, I listened to the podcast," and I was like, "What?
Nice.
Like where? When?"
I fucking
So, yeah.
listened to a
pretty cool.
podcast that's like based out of here in College Station. It's like senior, business major. He has a podcast that's pretty damn popular, and he had Benjamin Schrader on it, and I thought it was the funniest thing.
Oh my God.
Dude, I listened to it and I was like, I really don't want to believe, because he sound like he's weird. Like Ben Schrader's weird, we know that, but like he seems pretty genuine. Because like I feel bad for the kid because everyone's fucking shouting
Nah.
him. Like everyone
No.
hates him. I feel so bad.
I don't
Hey,
like.
man.
I don't know what to think about Ben Schrader because like, on one end, I could tell that he was kind of just misguided and kind of like weird about all
Yeah.
that stuff.
He has
But like
severe
on the other
dyslexia.
end, he sang the Soviet national anthem in front of my friend, who's Ukrainian, while Russia was invading Ukraine.
Hey man,
Oh.
listen to
And
that.
my friend straight up almost started swinging. Like I was just like, holy
so
shit!
Let's
Like
not
you
talk
can't
too
just
much
do
shit.
that.
He lives on the top floor of my apartment complex in like a penthouse suite in and he's got like something like 20,000 followers on Instagram. If I could like, hook him
I
up-
see.
like, if we
I
could
follow
get-
him on
If we
Instagram.
could get the plug, if you could like shout us out, you know how many fucking views we'd get.
Yeah.
He might have blocked me.
I definitely
Let me
follow
check.
him. The only reason I still follow him is because the fact that he lives
I like
in my
seeing his
building.
clout.
I see him every once in a while. He posted like.
Do you say hi to him?
No, I don't say hi to him. Maybe one
You
day
should
I
say
will.
hi to him.
I-
You should
I
be like,
don't
yo,
like,
check out my
like-
podcast.
He's always like walking around like talking to himself on his phone because like he just constantly uploading like Snapchat and Instagram stories of like trying to be like motivational and shit. It's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that's like a thing now. Like,
It
I
is-
watched this video of like a person who delivers Uber Eats compared to a quote unquote like personality, and the personality basically sat on his ass. He recorded videos himself by going like, "Yo, like check out this stock," because he was like a stock personality. Like he would report stocks and like the ups and downs and
yeah.
the trends and what you should invest next. And so he'd just basically like hang out, record himself every once in a while, talk about stocks, and then the guy who's an Uber Eats driver, he was just like waiting for the next call, and I was just like, damn, like that. What a different, because that dude straight up made like, the dude who was basically sitting on his ass made like straight up $7 million a year.
Yeah, dude. People. I had a good friend at UT Dallas. I don't know if he's listening to this. He's a really good friend of mine. His name's Ferris. He's from Denton, Texas, which is like a really nice white suburb
North
north
Texas.
of Dallas, and he trades currencies on foreign exchange, and he makes a fuck ton of money. He has
Is his
he
last
drive-
name Bueller?
No. He drives. He's actually like. He's from Jordan. Like his family's from Jordan, like the country. It's fucking.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he's cool, dude. He's a little awkward sometimes, but he's cool, dude. And he like drives like a brand new fucking Mercedes, and I guess he's our age. He just flexes everywhere he goes because he makes a fuck ton of money just trading off.
Does he
foreign
like
exchange.
flex, or does he just like low key flex? Like everyone's just like, damn, that's
It's just-
like a Louis Vuitton like.
Yeah, it's just
jacket.
low key to where like he's got nice shit. He's not gonna like brag about it, but he's got nice shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are my favorite kind.
Yeah, those are the low key guys.
The
I remember
low-key
trying to
guys.
like learn it. I never like finished it because I didn't start learning it till like halfway through spring semester. And
What do you mean
I
about
had
learning?
the app, and I would trade with fake money. So it was the actual like market, but you
I
trade
remember. I
with
know what
fake
you're talking
market.
about.
Oh, market. Yeah, market
Yeah,
watch.
and I'd do that in practice, but like I didn't never trusted myself to actually put real money into it.
I actually invested a lot of money into the market,
Yeah. Really?
but yeah, I always do it so it's, I guess, short term gain.
Oh, so you like just quick and fast, like make
Yeah,
money
so, like,
quick
this
and
summer-
get out. Yeah.
Yeah, like so like this summer I would put, I was really aggressive with it. I would put probably 40% of my paycheck each
Oh, wow.
paycheck into I went straight into like the power shares, like Apple. What else did I go into?
Amazon, I hope.
I think I went to this thing called, no, not Amazon. Amazon per share is like crazy amount.
Yeah.
But I went into this thing called FNKO that had like this. It's like a toy store kind of thing.
Funko?
It had a huge.
Funko Pop?
Yeah.
Those pop figurines?
You know-
yeah, the vinyl figurines. Those things are huge. Like they're like the
Yeah.
latest like in collection thing. I can see why they're like skyrocketing.
Yeah, Funko Pop. Yeah, this is exactly what it is. But I just had a friend tell me, he's like, yeah, go into it, eat early, and I was like, bet. And now it just like exploded, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so I got scared, so I just took everything out.
That's dope. And the
That
thing
makes
with
sense.
this Ferris guy is like when he was really making money, he would be a
Yeah.
shut-in. No one would ever see him because he was always in his room watching
He was
like
just
the
trading,
graphs,
yeah.
constantly trading. Because like to really make good money, that's what you have to do. Like just
Oh, so he was really
yeah.
in it.
And the market is
I can
24
imagine his
hours.
taxes.
It doesn't close on like from like whatever. I don't know when the stock market closes, but it doesn't have.
Yeah, it's like at 3
I think
o'clock or
it's,
something like
it's
that.
24 hour, 5 days a week. So like during like the
Holy
week,
shit.
he was always fucking locked in. It was insane.
So he's like me, but he doesn't play video games.
No, he just makes a fuck
Watches
ton of money.
stocks. That's. I wish I were like that. To be fair though, I just don't know. Like if somebody puts a graph in my face, I won't know what the fuck's going on. Like up could be down for all I know. Like especially when it comes to trading and stuff.
It's all about like trend
just-
lines and bullshit. Like he explained
Yeah.
it to me, but I don't really remember it very much.
It's very much like you have to know it, but once you know it, you
You got
you
it.
have it down.
Yeah.
And that's
But I mean,
just how it
that's
is.
the case with a lot of things, huh?
Yeah. I mean, to be
Case with
fair, you
life.
have to like. Yikes. to be to be fair, like to get to some place like that, you have to like be basically doing it for a straight like 6 months until you're finally like proficient in it.
Yeah.
But you know, you never know.
My
Like
mom's
my
doing
friend, wait, I was gonna say during our high school senior year, remember Chip Chase? He made us do that thing. He made us do
my
the.
dog.
He made us do like the stock challenge, and we basically pitted the class was split up into like 6 groups, and each group got $10,000, and had to see which made more money. And my friend Preston, he was up by like straight like 6K, like he had it made, and then he invested everything he had into an oil tanker firm, and then right after he invested, it's crashed because like something happened, and there was like a trade like thing put in place, and the stocks dropped like straight up 70%, and he lost all of his money. He lost the game, and I was just like, damn, it really do be like that sometimes, don't it?
Yeah, I remember that. And I remember there was other people like that boy Constantine. He was day trading.
Yeah,
He was like day trading, thinking that was going to get him up. The dude only had like maybe 5% profit.
Oof.
And like another group that had some other girl, like it was like an all girl group. They just like put all their stuff into like Disney or something like that, and they just let it sit. And then by the time the end of the game, Constantine had 5% profit doing all that work, and the girls had like 15% or something crazy like that. And I was like, wow.
Have you seen the Hard Knocks episodes with the Browns, Elijah?
What's the hard knocks?
And we mentioned Hard Knocks before. It's the TV show where
I have not.
They go inside like an NFL team, and like it's like behind the scenes. But in the first episode, one of like the defensive linemen is telling all the guys to like invest their money, and telling them how like with like long-term investments and just like general interest in a savings account that they could be like billionaires if they don't spend any money. It's so fucking crazy because these guys are making like a few million a year easy, no matter who they are.
Oh my gosh, they're making so
And
much
they
money.
just invest it, and
I
they
have
get
a
like
friend.
they get a 1% turnaround. It'll grow so fucking fast. Like you're making
Mhm.
1,000 a year.
I have a friend who's doing that. He just got picked up by the one of the NFL teams, and you know he got that first rookie check,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks nice, especially from like where we're from, and he's like, what do I do with it?
Invest
And
that
like so
bitch.
like he like fired his agent. Yeah, he like fired his agent, so he has to have to pay his agent anymore, and like I think I can't remember who's representing him now, but like he's just doing all this stuff like money moves with
Mhm.
it because he wants to save his money, be smart with it. He doesn't want to be like those players who just
Dude,
get to the NFL, leave, and then have no more
and man,
money
if you're smart,
after
if you
like
play
3
for
years.
if you're smart and you play like start on a team for 2 years and then never play again, you could be
Oh, you're
set.
set.
I remember reading like a statistic where like as soon as like when people leave the NFL, they're usually bankrupt because they just spend all
Yeah.
their money.
Because everyone flexes.
I forget
Yeah.
the actual statistic, but that like blew my mind because these guys are getting paid like what 20 million a year.
A lot
Just
of
like
guys
I
just
can't
don't
even
know what to do with all
fathom
the
having
money.
that much money.
And they just love spending it because they come from like usually not is anywhere near that kind of level of money, and then they just want to just spend it because they're having a great fucking time, and they just
Yeah.
don't realize, and no one tells them like if you just invest it, it's so much better for your future. Which
Like,
is why
if someone
this
gave
dude
me-
telling people that was so cool in Hard Knocks.
If I got dropped like $10 million, the first thing I would do is like I'd sanction off like $1 million, I'd say, for like living the next 5 years of my life comfortably.
That's exactly
Because
what I was gonna say.
200,000 is like amazing, and then I'd probably put like the rest into just like a savings account to just rank up money, and then probably like when I die, like I'll have like just give 80% to charity because like I don't need that shit. Like my kids can live off the 20%.
Alex, I don't think I told you this,
When I
but when I
die.
brought Meredith to your dad's house for the first time when we left, she was
Oh,
like,
God.
why the fuck would anyone buy a house like that? Just donate half of the money the house costs to charity and then build a house half the size. Is literally what she
Yeah.
said. I was like, fuck.
I mean, yeah.
She's right.
Somebody actually brought up a pretty good point about my father's domain,
The Dawn estate.
the Don estate. He was my dad's longtime work partner that he's had for like I'd say 20, 30 years. He's known him for not 20, 30, but he's known him for a long time. And I was like, God, the house is ridiculous. Like, why does someone need something like that? And he just looks at me and he's just like, success sells. Because my dad brings people to this house, like people that he wants to do business with, and they see this house and they're like, this dude's pretty well off, he must be doing something right.
I guess that's
because like
true.
the house, my dad doesn't use most of the house. He uses some of it sometimes, and like when he uses it, it's nice. But you bring someone to that house that like wants to do business with you, they see something like that, and they're gonna be like, okay, like this is a pretty safe bet.
That's one thing I hear about, like, cleanliness. So a guy in the fraternity I was in at UTD, he was like this. He's a senior. He's kind of down with the shit. Didn't really care about the fraternity anymore, but he's this, like, really chill, like, Jewish dude. And you can tell he's well off and he's going places. And he had this nice-ass house, like the nicest house to have anyone, about, like, a 10-minute drive from campus. And he kept that bitch spotless. Fucking spotless. And like that's where I want to be. I want to be to where I'm like always like ready for anything, prepared, even though I got a lot of like habits to build. That's the goal in the long term. And then like be cleanly, be organized, be productive, into where like I can do more things in a sense.
Yeah, I need to get more organized.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's perfect. I just like once you like get the idea in your head and start working towards it, you're not going to get any worse. You just only get better.
Oh yeah, and then you just start off small at first. Start off by just making your bed every day.
Yeah,
that's
we
one step to being organized.
I mentioned that in the last podcast, and I like to tell you the progress isn't going well. My bed is not made.
My bed is not made.
Mine is. I'm on it right now though, because I don't have a desk in my room. But I guess it's more.
My apartment's pretty clean.
More incentive to go to the coffee shop.
So that's.
I think the past week, I've just been kind of like the excuse that I've been giving myself is that I'm getting just like set, because it's been like a rough week with not knowing if I got into classes or not, and then finally getting in. And just gonna go. Gotta go to these classes.
Come around.
The class that I needed to get into for my major was on backlog.
What does that mean?
It means like there was too many seats. There was seats all the seats were taken, and there were people that needed to get into the class, but they couldn't because they didn't have enough seats. So there was like a waiting list of people that wanted to get in.
Did they make a new one?
Oh wow!
I feel like that's a huge fault if there's more people that need to take
They
the
did
class
make a new
than
one, but
people
that one
that
filled up too.
Wow.
So I was on a wait list, and I was just like, well, shit, I'll probably have to take like another semester. This fucking sucks. Like, damn. I got a text, or I got an email being like, respond as soon as you can. We have this spot open. Take it or leave it. And I was in class when I got the email, and I saw that email, and I just like fucking whipped open my fucking like inbox, and I just like sent her a message like, I'll take it. And she didn't respond for another hour, so I was like, oh my god, she gave my shit away, like I'm fucked. And then she finally sent me a because I sent her 3 emails over the course of the hour. Like I was like, oh, like
you're
this
stressing.
Like I said, I sent her an email off my one account because my my school email routes to my regular email. Yeah. So they send it to my school email, but it comes to my regular. So I messaged her from my regular, and then I was like, I sent her from my other email, and I was like, hey, I didn't know if you got my message. This is the same guy. I want that fucking seat. Like, please respond. And then she finally sent me an email. She's like, oh, like thanks. Okay, like just sign up for the class now. You're all set. And I'm just like, oh god. So yeah, it's been a stressful week. Last week I was freaking out. I was not doing too hot. Dude. But now I'm doing a lot better, which is nice, I guess.
I interrupt you, but while we were talking, I was checking the stats, like I said earlier, of our podcast. Episode 2 just broke like the chart, like literally broke the graph I made. It is higher than the y-axis goes. What the fuck?
What is?
Episode 2, dude. It had like 20 more views than it did this morning. As of right now, I don't get why that one is so popular.
Well, which one was episode 2 again?
The one where we talked about Matt and the girl we had to bleep out. It was,
yes.
Yeah.
Matt Wilkins was mad because we didn't piss up. Oh, well, I said his last name again. He's like, you just straight up said my last name in the video.
We said so many people's
like,
last names in the video.
I've noticed that. I was like, oh, they're really putting everybody's.
I mean, if we ever become famous, we're gonna have to fix that probably. Yeah. I mean,
hey, by the time that happens, you'll be able to delete stuff.
Yeah.
If we do get popular, we can delete the first few episodes. I doubt.
No, Steve. If we do get popular, we can pay someone to edit out those names. That's what we're doing here. We're making money moves.
Facts.
Editing's fun though. I kind of like it.
editing can be fun, and oh my god, there was this one time I was like, I want to make a meme. So there's this really good potato chowder in the dining room, in the dining hall last year, and I was like, oh shit, dude, like me and my friend had a joke. It was like, I hope there's fucking potato chowder today. And like one day it was gone, and I was like, what the fuck? Like this is pissing me off. So I taught myself. I went into like 4 different video editors, and I tried to teach myself how to edit like through those. Well, the first 2 were like didn't work. I downloaded the 3rd one, it didn't work. So I downloaded the 4th one, it worked. And then I needed to route my headphones through Audacity, and I had to learn how to like record like input audio as output audio as input. So I had to go through that. I had to find a voice like you know the meme where it's like so no head, and then he smashes the phone and ground pounds a skateboard. It was like that, okay. But like a robot voice is like, so no potato chowder. And then he ground pounded the phone and like smashed the skateboard. And that was the entire meme. It took me 4 hours.
I think you sent me that one, and you were like, it took me 4 hours. I was like, really? Fuck.
It's because I had to teach myself like 3 different video editors. It was ridiculous. And everyone gives me shit.
Video editor program. So
I know.
You've learned something.
But if you haven't been video editing since
you learn
you
something.
forgot it.
No, I actually got a new video editor that's much better. It's called Film Express. It's apparently free, and it's basically just like
It's apparently free.
It's totally free, but it's like iMovie is the best for like low-level video editing. iMovie is top of the class. Like I hate Apple products, but I have to give it that. Okay.
Bias, fuck you. What is a lot of Final Cut? Every fucking like professional YouTuber uses Final Cut Pro, which is only on
so
Apple.
Nice. It's so nice.
Adobe makes like the best. They use Adobe After Effects, Final Cut. All of them are like
top notch.
The top notch. Like they're the programs people use. I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
You want to talk about the drones and the
the drones. Dude, I could talk for fucking a while about drones.
When I saw this, I was like, holy shit. That's so dope. I was just trying to find like a lighthearted tech article, but fucking our last technology on Reddit is literally just all about like net neutrality. And I'm like,
don't you love it?
I was like, I get it's important, but like, dude, I'm trying to find something like actually like just interesting technology shit.
God, the internet and news is so doom and gloom nowadays. It's kind of making me sad.
Yeah, we can get to that in a bit.
Yeah, seriously. In a bit in a sec.
We always end our podcast with something like serious and sad. Why do we always do that?
It's because we talk about stuff, then it derives into other stuff, and then it derives into other stuff. Like, we went from talking about nuclear fallout to addiction.
Yeah.
How the fuck does that happen? How? Like, explain this shit to me.
Oh my gosh. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's whack.
Yeah, I remember listening, and I was just like, oh my goodness.
So yeah, this
okay.
This article is about how these engineers programmed the drones to herd birds away from airports autonomously, meaning that no one has to control them. They just send them out and they just do it on their own, which is really cool because there's a lot of like plane crashes or near plane crashes that have happened because birds will fly near a runway and the plane will take off and they'll get sucked into the engine and the engine will fucking explode. And like there was one really popular instance, probably like a couple of years ago that they mentioned. Oh, in 2009, the Miracle on the Hudson, a bird got into one of the engines of a
there's a movie about that.
Plane, and then the guy landed into the Hudson River. Shit like that is why they're avoiding that, which is really fucking cool. I would love to be able to even make something near that level. Like an algorithm that can handle that is insane.
Steve, you're electrical engineering.
I know. Maybe one day.
And to be fair, if you think about it, it's hard, but the logic behind it is not that hard. They've already have car. Okay, so one thing about programming that you need to get done before you start programming is understanding the logic behind programming.
That's what most of basic computer science classes are.
Yeah, and the logic is obscenely interesting. Like computer logic is so cool. It's a shame that I fucking suck at computer programming, but like it's just really interesting.
It's really easy to like think, oh, for this to work,
Like,
we just
if
have to
this,
make sure
then that.
if the bird comes here, the drone goes here. Like it's simple to like think about it in your head.
If
but
you
to-
think about it, yeah,
to
but it's
have-
hard as
Because
fuck to
computers,
code.
if you consider computers thinking, in quotes, it's completely different. Like you have to be so exact with computers to the minute fucking detail, and it's such a fucking pain. Like I remember I made a program where it was rock paper scissors lizard Spock, so it was a 5-option rock paper scissors game essentially, in my first computer science game, which you're like, oh, that's not that bad. It was a bitch.
No.
It was a fucking
Yeah.
bitch to me. So I had to assign a number to every single option rock paper lizard Spock, and then I had to set that like if the user types lizard, that means 1. If the user types 1, that means lizard. To do all that, and then you have to say that lizard. Then you have to set up if user selects lizard, you have the computer generate a random number between 1 and 5, and then you compare that number, and you have to set every single scenario to where this beats that, and this beats that, and this beats that.
Yeah,
So
it gets pretty redundant.
more
Yeah.
complex than you think because you have to be prepared for every single situation. And the worst part
Yeah.
usually is that users are dumbasses. You always have to prepare for user error because that's always the hardest part about computer programs is because a teacher, when he grades your program, is going to be like, okay, tries it normally, works fine. Then he's going to act like he's stupid, misspell the word, what happens?
Did
Use
you
the
mean
wrong number, what did
lizard?
work? What has happened? You just completely said something wrong. It's like you have to be prepared for anything that the user messes up. Because humans don't think as like perfectly as a computer does, and it's so fucking annoying.
Ah, yes.
Oh,
Our
it's
robot
annoying.
overlords.
Yeah, I know. I wish I was just a robot.
I'm prepared.
This is why whenever AI take over the world, we're all fucked.
Nah.
I don't know.
I mean, everyone's like worried about it, so I would like to think that anyone making AI understands that they shouldn't allow.
Well, I heard somewhere that Google is putting more money into anti-AI. It's something like that, where it's like, dang, I wish I knew
I
more
think
about
I
this.
saw an article.
So it's
that
like they're
Facebook
doing
made an
AI stuff.
and they couldn't figure out how to stop it, so they had to like manually shut it down through the servers. I was
There
like,
was
oh
this,
god.
There was this I was reading this one thing, and apparently this place made, I don't remember the exact details, but these guys made an AI on like a secure mainframe, and it tried to escape out, like it tried to escape onto the internet, or it tried to like get out, and then they just shut it down. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah.
It probably
There's
doesn't.
a
but
bunch
I,
of
like,
escape.
There's a bunch of shit like
it's
that.
it's just like, what the fuck? And now we have AIs playing Dota. Okay, so Dota is this Dota's a MOBA, it's a strategy game, and they played the top like 1% of players, and they won every single time. They outclassed the people that were playing the game, which is insane.
Or the fact that there's
said it's
chess
Dota?
computers that are better than any other human player by a long shot. That like a human could
Did
never
they
beat
beat?
the
Did they
best
meet
human.
Magnus, whatever his name is?
I think I heard there's a stat somewhere that a few years ago, was the first time a computer beat the best chess player in the world.
I saw that, and he got mad. The guy actually got mad,
Yeah,
right?
something
And
like
quit.
that. I'm gonna try to Google that.
Oh, have you guys heard of the computer? Okay, so I went to Princeton a couple years ago and took a summer course called Human Nature.
Flex.
Yeah, but I took this course called Human Nature and Technology, and in one of the lessons, we learned about this one program. I don't believe it's called Deep Blue, but fuck, I forget the name. But this company, they made an AI that plays Go. And Go is a game that's like chess. Yeah, let me look it up, actually. It's a game that's like chess, and it was invented in China, and it is it's so much more complicated than chess that it's almost like it's ridiculous. And in the beginning of the game, like, the commentators were watching it, and they were like, oh, this robot's making stupid moves, like, what the fuck's going on? And then later on in the game, those moves that it made were like integral to its winning, and it just demolished the guy. it placed down a move, and the guy looked at it. One of the top Go players in the world. The guy looked at it, got up, and used the restroom. He just left.
Wow. I'm gonna go use the restroom.
God.
Doesn't come back.
Yeah, like the thing in Go is like this, you have like a section like 2 hours to play the game, and during that time you could just leave and come back. So he just like up and left and came back like 10 minutes later and kept on playing. But he was just like, "What the fuck?" He got destroyed.
He just cried.
Gosh.
Yeah, dude, AI is getting whacked.
Yeah,
He's just like, "Oh, I thought it was the best. Thought it was the best." What a sad day.
So do y'all want to talk about democracy?
Oh fuck.
Democracy.
I never want to talk about democracy, but it usually devolves into us talking about democracy. Because
We
why
almost
the
started
fuck
talking
not?
about it like 10 minutes ago already.
When?
We mentioned how politics are fucked. Remember?
Ah, yes,
We did.
politics are fucked.
So this guy named Jaska Mount, he's this German dude who wrote a book. It was like, what was it called again? The People versus Democracy. And I thought it was interesting because it kind of tied into how we finished the last podcast where we talked about how like politics doesn't really like make much sense because it's really corrupt and no one really wants to get into it because of how it's corrupt, and it seems like we're just going down a horrible path with like Trump being president and all sorts of fuck shit happening with like Russia apparently like hacking the election, and every time you go onto any sort of news article something shitty is happening. Like you can't go anywhere,
That is
whether it's
correct.
Reddit, Twitter, fucking any normal like cable TV, everything is just like shit. It seems.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty rough.
And like, essentially, what he was saying is that like, ever since more like millennials think it's not important for democracy to be a thing, and that like, because all these older people grew up, the people that grew up around like the world wars, we're now like we're starting to lose them all. We're about to run out of people that actually lived through that. They care a lot more about democracy than we do because we didn't grow up through wars, and then
Yeah, it's true.
so like
That's
we're
true.
less like aware of how
We didn't fight for it.
shitty
Yeah.
it is. We didn't fight for anything, stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Like a stat is that 20 years ago, 1 in 16 Americans thought army rule was a great idea. So that's not that many people. We don't want army rule. We don't want to be led to by like a dictator who fucking runs an army type deal.
Yikes.
Now it's 1 in 6 people.
What?
Yes, 1 in 6.
So you're telling me that
Statistically, 1 in 6 people in America think that an army rule, isn't it like forced by the military to do whatever, is the just way to solve our problems.
So you're telling me if I go back, like if I have 60 people like on my Instagram,
10 of them.
and I like,
10 of
and
them.
if I have, so I have 60 people on my Instagram, and I post a picture like, let's bring back the Reich. Like 9 people are gonna respond and be like, let's do it, bro. Like you and me, let's get it.
Responding is one thing, and genuinely believing it is another. Because like, no one wants that. No one, like the popular opinion. It's not like taboo to think that. So they're not going to be like shouting.
It's not taboo to think
that,
bring back the Reich.
Yeah, exactly. But like people who do think it's a thing.
Excuse me.
Did I have?
Wait,
Do
what?
I have taboo missed right? Is it the other way around? Did I fuck that up?
I don't know. Taboo means bad. Taboo means it's not good.
Okay. So it is taboo. Whoops.
Yes. I was about to be like Steven.
Oh yeah.
You have anything you wanna
I'm
tell
one of
us?
the 6.
One of the 10.
How'd you know? But I'm getting all this from a TED talk by that guy named Jaska Mook that I'll link in below, and he has a book called The People versus Democracy, which is essentially how democracy is falling because of like authoritarian populists. And Trump is a perfect example of an authoritarian populist, where like he kind of like follows the wave of a belief, but if anyone says like a different belief, they're like slandered and they're considered like not American. Does that make sense?
Ah, yes. Amazing.
And so another Putin is an authoritarian populist, and that
Ah, yes.
in the same sense,
Nice.
lots of shit like that.
It's always great to hear
It's always-
the U.S.
yeah.
president compared to Putin.
Oh yeah.
Yo.
No. The U.S. president is so fucking scary. I would hate Imagine being in another country, seeing Donald Trump in power, being the guy behind the largest military in the world, the largest nuclear arsenal in the world. It's a crazy scumbag who tweets about random shit on Twitter. You know how scary that would be?
So yeah, look at it from that scope. Yeah, I'd probably
I'd be
scared
much
of him.
scared of him. I'd be equally.
But there's also a
scared
lot
him
of
as
people
Putin.
who. Yeah.
I think-
I feel like
I
they're
think-
pretty damn close.
I'm not, because I think Donald Trump straight up like Putin is smart, and Putin like he plays to get his way. You know what I mean? Like he rigs the game, but he plays it as well. Donald Trump just like he's like, I win, you lose, like fuck you, and then everyone's like, wait, what? No, you don't. And then he's like, yep, can't hear you, and he walks away. But
It's like,
Putin, he's like,
Can't see me.
yeah, you can't see me.
It's like,
But
uh,
Putin,
It's like when Ron Elijah says, "No, I win, you lose."
Yeah, when
No, I
you
win,
lose. Nope, I'm right, you're wrong.
You're right.
I'm right, you're wrong. Like a little kid.
but Putin, he's just like, he's terrifying to me. Just like seeing someone that's that like also one of the reasons that okay, this is gonna sound really weird at first, but like let me get to it. I would not like to see Donald Trump impeached because no, but listen, because I think
He prefaced it.
I think his VP is terrifying. Mike
Mr.
Pence.
Pence.
Mike Pence is absolutely fucking terrifying to me because he has the same radical like crazy views as Donald Trump, but he has that like brain behind it where you know he's going to get his way. But because Donald Trump, he's scary, but he's like scary and like a toddler running around your house. Mike Pence is like a dude with a flamethrower that's like lighting your shit on fire.
Donald Trump is a toddler with the largest nuclear arsenal in the world.
Yes, that's exactly it. It's terrifying.
Oh my
Like, just
God.
don't forget about that he could wipe out like every other country in the world with his own will. Like,
don't
he
get me
can't
wrong.
do
How
it.
long
There's
has it
checks
been?
and
2
balances
years?
getting against it, but like at the same time, like there's a Secret Service guy that carries around the nuclear codes and follows the president 24/7, and they test him into how fast he can decode the nuclear codes, and he has to do it within 6 seconds, and he practices it every day.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Fun.
scary.
Imagine how intense that is. Like, it's probably something that'll take us like 12 hours.
And he's just really
Takes
fucking
him-
good at decoding it. Because it's his job, because you want to be able to send out nukes in response really fast if there is a nuclear war. Which is scary to think about, but like, I guess that's what you have to do if the situation comes.
Yeah. On this
Oh my god.
on this subject, I just saw the movie Black Klansman.
What's that?
Like,
Yeah,
couple
it's a good
days
movie.
ago. Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Dude, the ending, when it's just like, this is 1970s,
Spoiler.
and this is now. I was just like,
Wow. Yeah.
I was
I mean, it's
terrified.
the harsh truth. It's the
Yeah.
harsh truth, man.
it's fucking like, when me and my friends, we walked out of that movie theater and we were like, shit's fucked.
Yeah.
It's-
Imagine, going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah,
good movie. Recommend it. I think it was
There's a
shot
scene where they talk
beautifully.
about Waco in there. I don't know
Really?
if you remember the old
David
man when he's
Koresh.
telling that story.
Oh, damn.
No, not that Steve.
I,
when the dude was telling the story, it's from Waco.
That dude telling the story scene, there's so much like just symbolism in that scene that like I was taken aback. So spoiler alert, if you don't want it,
I haven't
skip
seen
ahead.
it. Yeah,
If you haven't seen it by now, you're not going to see it.
Steve, are you gonna see it?
I guess, but I don't care if you say it. Just go.
Okay, it's not really that much of a spoiler, but there's this ritual going on in the KKK's thing, and then there's this dude telling a story to like the like this black rights group, and there's like kind of this like divide between the two. Like the KKK has this really weird ritual going on. They toss water on each other. They're kind of
Yeah, it's
freaking
like the
out. They're
Catholic
watching
Church.
they're watching shit about how the South will rise again, but the
Like, literally.
yeah,
Like-
no, seriously, it's a movie called the Birth of a Nation. It's like KKK propaganda, pretty much. But
Basically, yeah.
the thing about the scene that was so beautiful for me was the fact of how personal the Black Rights group was. Like they were sitting in a room, they were all crowded together. They were talking to this dude, and he was telling the story, and it was all so personal and so like you could just feel like it in the room. And it was just cut. It was straight up him talking. It's really personal. Cut to like these crazy ass people yelling at a screen, like like, oh, kill them all, like, what the fuck? And it was just like, that's the divide. And it was just, I don't know, I was just taken aback at like the like Spike Lee, the director, was just
Spike Lee joint. Yeah, he does
he's
a really
a beautiful
good job.
filmmaker.
Yeah. But like that whole scene was just showing the two like extremes of the sides.
Two extreme
like,
sides, yeah.
the Black Panther group and the white supremacist KKK. The black supremacists, I mean the black supremacists. Well, the Black Panthers, they were doing it to be equal with all. But then like you had the white supremacists saying that they're a hate group and that white is the only and that we got to be separate. Blah blah blah. It's just crazy how they did that movie. Mm-hmm. And at the end when the officer called,
when he called him, yeah.
Duke, whatever his name is. He said, "Aren't you gonna?" I was like, "Yo."
Yeah, that was a good scene too. But anyways, I recommend it. Check it out. It was such a good
I'll
movie.
link the Pirate Bay stream in the description.
Yeah, I was about to say, just watch it for the free.
Yeah, watch it for the free.
One point I want to get back to is this on the TED Talk. I'll link it below for sure. But he mentioned of ways to like stop the fire and that like democracy's going to shit, even though it seems like it's very possible for this downward spiral to stop. So the 4 ways were protest. It was like, of course, protesting people will work. Like a lot of people protest Trump, a lot of people protest all this sort of fun shit. And then the big one that really hit me was actually get involved in politics. Because me personally, and I talked about this with Alex before, and that all this like scariness and this corruptness makes me just want to back out and not fuck with it. But that doesn't help the cause at all.
That's not what you need to do, yeah.
It's the exact opposite of what you should do.
So what you should really do is pay attention more and vote for people. I guess the lesser of two evils in a sense, and that you should pay attention. So if you see 2 candidates, you can figure out which one is less corrupt or is less worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I thought that was like that point really hit me in the fact that like I've always told myself I don't want to fuck with politics because I'm scared of corruption.
That's the whole voting thing. It's like, oh, I'm not going to vote because I don't like either party. Like, dude, that doesn't help anything.
No,
vote for who you do believe in.
The worst is when I'm not going to vote for a third party because there's no way they're going to win. If everyone has
that's
that mentality,
exactly.
Like,
no
you just do it.
If you feel like the third party candidate is the better candidate, vote. Because if everyone has that mindset, then they actually have a chance of winning. But if everyone has the mindset of, no, I don't want to vote for the third party candidate because they're not going to win, they will never win.
Uh-huh.
The third party candidate this year, the Libertarian Party, he actually he had a solid chance. Like, he was getting good screen time. Like, of course, against the 2 powerhouses that are the Democratic and Republican Party, it was looking like rough. But like I heard more about the Libertarian Party this year than I have in any past elections, which I think is a very good turn. Because like I think one of the greatest flaws of democracy is that it innately creates a 2-party system.
And we talked about this before.
Which is the opposite of what George Washington wanted. George Washington was like to Alexander Hamilton, he was like, "Yeah, don't do that, Alexander. I can see you." And then he's like, "I promise, man, I won't." And then George Washington dipped. He's like, "All right, boys, let's turn it up."
Another thing he highlighted is that you need to like make sure you pass down like basic political values to your peers and your family. Like, it doesn't apply to us as much because we're all 19, all 3 of us. But like, you pass down to your kids good political values and make sure that the people close to you are like morally set in their values in a sense. Because if everyone does that who is morally valued, the people that are morally straight will grow exponentially, actually. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And also,
I don't know, man.
Fighting now is better fighting later because at least right now we're not in like a censored dictatorship to where we can't like see. We're not like China to where
I hope I never see that day.
China
I hope
can
I never see
have
that.
like certain websites nationally and shit like that. At least we're not like that. So you might as well try to make a change now than then when it will be a lot fucking harder if we ever get to that. Especially with us 3, and probably most of our audience being the younger people. Probably we're the youngest voting generation there is. I remember I could have voted in this past election because my birthday was like 2 weeks after, but I was like, nah, my opinion doesn't matter because you can sign up to vote.
That's terrible.
Exactly. Bad
terrible.
mindset. Bad
terrible.
mindset because like you're like, oh, 1 vote doesn't matter. That's not what you want to say. And back then, that's what I thought, and I've grown. everyone grows, so you get better. But
Yeah.
we're what matters because we are the future.
Speaking of
We are
that,
the future.
election November, everybody go vote.
Oh, that's
For
right.
the,
The midterm elections, right?
Also,
Yep.
don't forget about your
Mhm.
local elections. That's just as important.
Oh,
shit,
man,
no way.
that's too. I don't. Baby steps. Baby steps.
I'm gonna be in Arizona. Can I do
can
like
still vote.
out of state? I can do it. I
Do
can
you
still
wanna-
vote.
yeah.
Do I just have to register here?
No, you register and you
I mean, I
register
register-
online,
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
and then when it comes around voting time, I'm pretty sure you just vote online. Like you vote through this thing and then you mail it.
Do you want to endorse Beto?
Oh yeah, that's right. He's running.
I don't know shit about him, but I see his signs
The
everywhere.
untold
Dude,
truth.
even here in College
Yeah.
Station, I see his signs, and I was like, no way, because he's a Democratic.
He's
guy.
he's visited or visiting. I don't know if he's finished yet. Every single county in the state of
Yeah,
Texas,
I
all
heard about that. That's incredible.
253 or whatever it is.
That on its
He's
own
Beto
is really
O'Rourke,
respectable.
right? Beto for Texas.
Yeah. His
Yeah.
sign, they're on every other fucking bumper sticker in Austin, because Austin is like the
Oh, yeah.
global
Yeah, that
paradise
makes
for
sense.
Texas.
Oh, Austin loves that guy. Oh
I've
gosh.
seen the signs here in College Station, like, hey, gas country. It's not very hick, it's just college kids, but it's less,
No,
it's a little
it
more
is.
surprising than Austin, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, not Mike Pence. Never again, Mike Pence. Wait, no, not Mike Pence.
No, Mike
is it Mike
Pence
Pence?
is the
Oh, I
vice
mean,
president.
who the fuck is it? Who's Ted Cruz? Ted Cruz. Never again, Ted Cruz.
Oh, my econ professor that I had today looks just like Ted Cruz.
Are you
Oh
sure
my
that he's
gosh.
not the Zodiac killer?
Right?
Recon pro-
And then-
Oh, I
Econ
forgot about
professor?
that.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like his opinions are so, and like somebody in class was like, "Have you ever been told that you resemble Ted Cruz?" And everybody in the class busted out laughing. And I was like, "Oh my!" Like I wasn't even laughing. I was just like,
Poor
"Oh my
dude, I would
gosh!"
hate to
Like,
be laughed at by the entire class.
no. He didn't care. He was like, he just made a comment saying that like he loves Ted Cruz. He voted for Ted Cruz. He believes all his beliefs, but he's like one of the typical Baylor professors. Like he super Christian.
Ah, yes,
Like
Baylor.
he like believes in the, like he openly said he believes in the Bible literally. Like,
Oh, God.
a snake did talk, and I was like, oh. Interesting. All right.
Speaking of, the term snakes in the grass, does that come from the Bible?
In a sense, I mean,
Oh my gosh,
humans
yeah,
have hated
yeah.
snakes. Like, I fucking hate snakes. Oh my god.
Oh, well, look here, little Indy.
Yee.
Like, chill out.
Dude, no, we went to Enchanted Rock a couple weeks ago, and we saw
Thanks for the invite.
Copperhead.
Thanks for the invite.
Y'all were both in college. You were in Waco, and you were in Arizona. And
I don't know what
also,
you're talking
there were
about.
two guys that you don't like very much, Alex, on that trip.
I don't know what you're talking about, Steve. I like
So
everyone.
there was a copperhead
Right?
snake and then like
Same,
a
Alex.
massive copperhead snake on one of the sides of the trail. And I
Well, that's
was,
fucking different. That's a copperhead.
I'm not gonna
Like
I'm
garter
not,
snakes, like I want to fucking pet the
You
shit
thought
out
I
of
was-
a garter
You thought
snake.
I was talking about a garter snake? No, I'm talking about like the big ass rattlesnakes that are gonna kill you.
They won't kill you. They'll just
Yes,
hurt you
if
a
you
lot.
no, it can kill you.
Hey man, I don't want to get bit by one.
Or like the
I mean, fair enough.
the coral snake, like red and yellow kill fellow, that type of shit. So fucking
Yeah.
sprint away. I saw one of those fuckers. Even if it was like the one that kind of looks similar, that's actually like not poisonous, and I wouldn't even bother
Yeah.
to count the stripes. I would fucking run.
Water moccasins.
Yeah,
God.
snakes are especially living in Texas, where there's like the most venomous creatures in any other state are in Texas. I think is what it is. Something about that.
Dude, I went to Australia one summer,
Oh my gosh.
and
Yeah.
we were in the desert at night, looking at stars, and I was just like, I'm probably gonna fucking die. like I was like, this is it, y'all.
Yeah,
The
Australia's
closest
gorgeous.
Such an
town was a
optimistic
30-minute
individual.
drive. Rough.
Fuck.
Australia, that's on my bucket list of places to go because
Australia's
for multiple
great.
reasons.
It's
Australia, just I don't know, just to get out of the U.S. I guess.
Mhm.
Also, it's like one of the hubs for specialty coffee.
Ooh,
It's like
really?
You can find,
That makes
it's like one of
sense,
the,
that makes
It's one of the
sense.
top places, and like it's like above the
Yeah,
U.S.
you need to start.
for sure,
You need to start
without a doubt.
branding, and we'll start here. We'll shout you out. We'll pretend that you're a paid sponsor, and we'll talk about you at the very beginning of every
Man,
episode, even though you're not
that's-
saying shit.
Man, that's a whole different. Oh my gosh, I need to get on that. I have so many like, I don't know. I'm so
Cozy
hesitant
Eli's
because I
Coffee.
want to start it.
Austin, Texas.
Because I want to start it, like, just like, I want to start off as a blog first.
Oh, just blog about
But
coffee.
like, I just want to blog about it first, just to get my following up. Then once I get my following up,
You could do
I
like
want
a
to
vlog
actually
where you go
roast.
to like
Yeah.
coffee
When you
places,
actually
yeah.
make this blog, we'll have you back on the podcast.
Yeah.
You can talk
Bet.
about it.
But like, my thing is, I don't want to just blog about coffee. Like, go to the coffee shop. Oh, yeah, I had a great latte with a cool Rosetta flower on the art. And like, no, I don't want that. Like, I want to actually do like data, like research with it.
That's
because
fair,
I mean,
though.
that's what I'm majoring in anyway. So it's like I'm obviously
yeah.
in love with numbers and how they make a line. But like, I want to do like data. Like, I want to be like, what's the best temperature for a morning coffee? Okay, let's do 1 week, one trial of coffee at 202 degrees. Let's do one at 203 degrees, one at 204 degrees, and like which has the best flavors in it at that heat. Which coffees from Colombia or Ethiopia? Which is better hot? Which is better cold? Like, I want to do stuff like that.
That is fun, dude.
But like,
I wish I was
That's
better
pretty
at
sick.
Excel.
do you know how long that'll
Yeah, I
take?
know. I wish I was
That'll
better
take
at
time.
Excel, because every time I put something in Excel, I have to like look up how to do what. I wish I
Dude.
could do it
Oh
like
my god, I
flawlessly.
fucking hate
I took
Excel.
an Excel class and I'm in love
Dude,
with it.
Excel's really
Like, I
cool.
took an
Excel is so smart, but it's the most obnoxious fucking software.
I just use Google Sheets though, because I just like how Google is everywhere.
Yeah,
And then you
I
can
like
share
how I
with
can just
anyone.
I like how I can pull it up on my laptop and then just like go onto my desktop and have it there as well.
Hell, we fucking upload these audio files to Google. Shit.
Google Drive, yeah. But yeah, it's funny, speaking like Elijah, you were saying your bucket list was like Australia, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I one of my biggest dreams is like to get a group of people and just get a group of boys and just go to Japan for like 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
happened in New York?
that would just be such like a culture bomb. I want to go to New York, but like that's like not that's up there. But like Japan is just like up there, you know. Like just picture rolling around town.
Nathan
with,
worked
like
all summer to go visit his stepsister.
yeah. No, he
Yeah.
told me, and I was like, I wish I could do that, but I was in school. But I was just like, I think just in general going places with your friends, like just going like across country with your friends is the most fun one can have.
Yeah, speaking
It's
of
just
that,
so great.
me and a friend, he's a photographer, engineer student at Prairie View. I don't know if y'all know where that is.
I've heard of it.
It's like near Houston. But Prairie View A&M. But I was talking to him. We did a photo shoot, him and my girlfriend, and we just like came to the conclusion like, hey, bro, let's go travel. So like we made this thing like we're gonna go to Europe. We're gonna save up all our money, go to Europe. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't type thing.
Yeah.
But like he just wants to travel. Like he doesn't care. Like he was like, I don't care. Like who all comes. Like let's just go. And I was like, dude, I can dig that. So like,
That's fucking dope.
That's what my dad did. My dad, I don't know when, but he took like just like a thing. He's like, I'm gonna go to Europe, and he just dipped to Europe for like a while.
Dude,
flex.
But the thing is, no, he ran out of money.
you got stuck, right?
So he ran out of money in Germany. So he like bunkered down in like a Cologne, a city in Germany, and he worked there for 6 months to get enough money to fly back to America.
I wanna.
Oh my gosh, it took him 6 months.
Study
Yeah.
Oh
abroad.
god.
That would be dope. That'd be fun.
Studying
Man, if it
abroad
wasn't for
would be
track,
fun.
I would.
Yeah.
Track just
See, that,
it takes
I
up the
wanna
whole
just-
summer.
Elijah, when you were talking about the Europe trip right there, I saw. So I have the video on Discord thing to where whoever's talking is shown up, and as Alex was like going to the corner to vape quietly, it would flash to him.
I know what you're talking about. I do not know.
It was
what
so
you're talking
hard for me at first.
So there's like Elijah talking, and then just me, just like
Yes.
perfect, perfection.
I wish the people listening could sort of see that. Maybe we could.
No, this whole time he's just been like putting it under his shirt. I'm like, ah.
I do not know what you're talking about. I am a straight cut gentleman.
Hey
I
man.
don't
What
do
is a
anything
vape?
illegal. I don't torrent any movies. I've never done any illegal
I've
drugs.
never-
I don't drink.
I have never ever torrented a movie in my life.
Oh my god.
But yeah, well, boys, it's looking like we're nearing. We're now at an hour and 4 minutes. You want to keep on going, or do you want to cut it off?
I mean, we can make it a little longer because we have a guest.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Fuck it.
No,
Why not?
no.
We're having a good time. I'm Jay chillin'. I've been needed to take a
Jay
shit for
chillin'.
the past 40 minutes. But
And-
we're
Oh
good.
my
it's
god.
not like we've ever had to like cut. Like we never
No, yeah.
stopped talking. We usually just like that's long enough. We're never like, oh,
Yeah.
we don't know what to talk about. So
Yo, Elijah. So you know how
Yo.
you're into coffee?
Of course.
I'm into mechanical keyboards.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
This
my
is why
god.
time Alex
Okay, so wait,
types you can hear
so my
on the
brother,
podcast.
has a mechanical keyboard, but what is that? Like, what's
What
a
is what?
mechanical keyboard versus a regular ass keyboard?
It's just
Oh, boy,
loud
you just
and
opened-
obnoxious.
That's not true at all, Steven. Fuck you. All right. So you guys can't see this, everyone who's listening, but this is my mechanical keyboard right here. This is my baby. It's the MK Disco. But the difference between mechanical keyboards and regular keyboards is the actuation switch underneath. Regular keyboards use this thing called a rubber dome, and
Yeah.
so you press down on the keyboard, and it concaves the rubber dome after a certain amount of pressure. And that when it concaves, it activates a switch. Keyboards, laptop keyboards, not the new MacBooks are different, but they have this thing called a scissor switch, I believe, and it's held up on two little pieces of metal, and that press down when it activates. But the thing, here, let me see if I have my key puller.
Yeah, I have.
Oh,
the
well, I didn't need that.
The newer version, the newer physical model, and the travel on this keyboard is probably a 20th of what the travel on your mechanical keyboard is.
Yeah. So this is what a switch looks like on a mechanical keyboard. It's like a little peg. Yeah, y'all can't see, but it's a little peg sticking up out of the keyboard. And what's underneath the peg is a spring that goes down, and after a certain amount of pressure, there's this little lock thing that's called that's in the switch. And it's it's not really a lock, but it goes after a very specific amount of pressure, it pushes down through. So there's different types of switches, and there's different amounts of what it takes to activate, and the pressure. There's a lot of stuff in it, but there's the most popular key switch company maker is called Cherry MX. They make the ones for Corsair. The Razer has their own thing. They're just fucking weird. I don't like Razer. But there's Reds, which don't have the actuation, so they just push all the way through on the spring.
Yeah.
They have a certain amount of actuation pressure. I don't know that. There's the Browns, which aren't as clicky as the Blues. The Blues are the ones that everyone knows as the mechanical keyboard. Because, we just it just sounds like someone's fucking slapping something.
Yeah.
Those things
what's the benefit of that?
The benefit is it's more precision, and if you press down on a regular rubber dome, just push your hand down on a rubber dome, not all the keys will activate at once because of just how it's designed. But if you press your hand down on this, all of these keys will activate at once.
Yeah, these mechanical keyboards
Just because
are popular with
they're-
video
it's-
game players because they're so much more precise.
Yeah.
And
They're more precise,
it's a little cold.
and
Alex is
it's
showing me,
better
the Reddit.
actuation. It feels better to type on. It's really hard to explain unless you've tried it. But once you've typed on a mechanical keyboard, it's really hard to go back to rubber dome.
I personally think that the MacBook keyboard is pretty slick. I like
The new one?
The new one. You
The
have to
flat.
get used to it because since the travel is so small, you kind of can't even
It
notice.
feels like a dog clicker.
Yeah, you can't even notice yourself typing on it at first. And I've heard older people complain, older people who have had been typing with
The fat buttons.
fucking fat travel keyboards for a long time before, and they'd get a laptop like this, and I can't even tell when I'm typing because the travel is so short. But being a 19-year-old who can adopt to tech really easily is going to be fine.
I was thinking.
I think it's really interesting.
I'm
but-
really scared of the point. I'm scared of whenever I get to the age to where I can't adopt to new technology because I'm not as used to it. Then I'll feel really fucking old because I've always been the guy that my mom asked me hey, can you help me with this? Because it's just intuitive to us because we've grown up constantly getting new technology. But at some point, we're going to get so old to where we don't want new shit anymore. We don't really give a shit. And then we're not going to be, as intuitive about how things work.
I always think about that. I always wonder, of course, we're going through the tech boom.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's getting new, revamped. Everything's changing.
Yep.
But, when is it going to slow down?
Oh, shit.
Do
It's
y'all
exponential.
think it's going to slow
It's been
down?
growing faster.
That's scary. It's going to get to the point where it's just
No.
dog, we're just gonna be born and just be in a bubble,
Dude, I'm
and
genuinely
things are gonna do
curious.
stuff for us.
Imagine if the human race lasts long enough to where we know everything about the physical world. Think about that. Because like we don't understand how all of physics works by a long shot because of like quantum physics and stuff like that. It just no one understands it. But if we ever get to a point where we know how everything works perfectly in the physical world, to where there's no more advancement in technology, everything just is stagnant. What do we even do at that point? Imagine that. That'd be
imagine
so fucking weird.
Imagine having 100% of the ocean researched.
Yes.
Yikes.
Like shit like that. We haven't even explored the
Bro,
world.
water is scary, bro. Like,
Just even fucking
like,
somehow
I am
travel-
terrified of the ocean.
You somehow traveling faster than the speed of light, or whatever way it have to be possible. Whether it's like with all the theories that it has to do with black holes or dark matter, whatever it have to be. Imagine ever getting to that point. That would be insane.
that's
I
like a
can't.
concussion waiting to happen.
That's like talking about like multiple dimensional stuff. I remember watching a video from Neil deGrasse Tyson, and that like we're so locked in. Like picture an ant, pretend that an ant is only in 2 dimensions, in that it can only store items in these 2 dimensions. But then once you open up a 3rd dimension that the ant can't even comprehend, things like the ant can't comprehend that things can go up. There's no z-axis like we have on graphs.
Okay.
So imagine opening up a 4th axis. Technically, there are 4th dimensions, and it's time and space. Space having x, y, and z, and time being the 4th. Imagine if there were a 3rd physical dimension. How bizarre that would be.
I would just get into the fetal position and start screaming "future" like Squidward from.
Because our
SpongeBob.
brains
Okay.
can't even comprehend the 4th dimension.
There is a book about that.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
It's this book called Flatland. It's a book called Flatland, and it's about there's these like polygons living in a 2D world.
I think I've read this.
And they're like, it's this really weird fucking book. Like there's a hierarchy. Like the more sides you have, the higher you up on like the scale.
I definitely read this book in like middle school or something.
And the women are all like lines, and since like they're like used as like assassins and shit, since they like poke a polygon, the polygon just disappears. And like there's this one point where a 3-dimensional object passes through the 2-dimensional plane, and it's really fucking trippy for them. And it's just like talking about what it would be like
to be, because
that
imagine
book
that for a 4th dimensions.
fucking nuts.
Yeah, that shit's insane. I remember reading that, and I should definitely read that again. What was it called?
Flatland.
Flatland.
There's also another really interesting short story by Isaac Asimov you can find online. Is the final question, or is it the last question? Okay, it's called The Last Question by Isaac Asimov. It's basically like the last question of the universe. It's like I believe it's fucking weird, but this it's a really cool fucking book or story that I think you should read. If anyone ever checks it out, it's free online. Just look up The Last Question. The first link is a PDF file that you can just straight up read for free. But
nice.
And you can
Internet.
torrent books.
Yeah.
People don't do it very often, but it's very possible. I've done it before.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But
that's
that
very
one's
true.
actually free because he's I think it's like been too long since he wrote it that it's like I don't know.
They're-
It's
they're-
for free now.
I think with publishing companies, there's a licensing agreement to where after a certain period of time, it becomes free. So a lot of old classic novels are free online.
Yeah. I know that some of like the first movies are now like open for everyone to watch since like 70 years I think is the copyright on a movie.
Oh wow.
So
That's
like
crazy.
some of the old movies people will stream them on Twitch or like something since you can't.
I've
since
seen
it's
that
not
before.
Copyright, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's pretty fucking cool now the shit that's happening nowadays. We're making money.
Speaking
moves.
of Twitch, those dudes are making crazy money. I was doing the
Yo,
math
dude,
on
fucking
like
Ninja.
no, I was thinking like I was doing the math on like the folks from TSM.
Oh, from TSM.
And like,
Team
you know how much
Solomon.
money they make a
No.
year? Oh, dude, it's just millions.
Okay, in
Like-
sorry.
No, you got it.
I'm still stuck on the book shit. I was googling. In general, book works of like books are 70 years after the author passes away, they become public domain. That's the general rule.
Oh, okay.
That's like the rule of thumb.
Oh, wait,
it's not
shit.
always the same for every single case, but that's the rule of thumb. And that 7 years after the author passes away, it's public domain.
Wow. That's actually kind of cool.
That's really interesting. Okay, my favorite book of all time is The Once and Future King by T.H. White.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he died in 1964, so The Once and Future King.
It's almost, you got like 10 more years, I think, till it's free.
No, wait, how many years is it again?
70?
70.
Oh yeah, 10 more years until it's totally
I
free.
don't know if I did that math yet, right? Maybe a little less than 10, actually. now I think
Wait, what
about
the
it.
fuck? I just found it online.
Well, that's
Like,
the rule of
in
thumb.
its entirety.
That's the rule of thumb. It's not always 70. That's
Yeah.
in general. There's no exact number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair.
It's also another example of sometimes it's 95 years after the publication or 120 years after the date of creation. So I guess it depends on what kind of writing it is, which rule it's going to follow, which is weird. And I'm sure
I'm sure if it's academic,
yeah.
it's sooner.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, like, the after someone has died, because, like, I don't know.
Because they're not going to make any more money off of it.
They're not going to make any money off of it.
Doesn't
like, if I were an
J.R.R.
author, like...
Tolkien's, like, family, they own the rights because people still want to make
Yeah.
movies off of it.
Yeah.
So, sorry, go on, Alex.
They, I don't know what I was going to say, but, it makes sense, the 70 years. Because if I were an author and I wrote a book, like, I would be like, you know what, like, after I die, just, like, fucking send it out, man.
If it really is
Get
that
it done.
popular, like, let everyone read it.
Yeah. I mean, hell, like, dude, I can't get over just how fucking ingenious J.R.R. Tolkien was when writing Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Like, he wrote an entire language for, like, he wrote, like, multiple languages, right? Because I know he wrote Elvish, and that's, like, the main one. Because
they
he
have courses
was,
on that language.
yeah. And he was a linguist, actually. That's why he was able to write those languages, because his profession, he was, like, a linguist, and he was, like, a teacher of, like, the arts, which is cool.
That's so dope.
Yeah. Like, I wish I could do something like that, but I also could never do something like that, you know?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But yeah. Well, it looks like we're winding down, y'all. It's been-
Hey, man. Thank y'all. This was fun.
Thank you. It's a good
It's a
time.
lot of fucking fun. Like, that's what I was, like, shocked of the first time. Because the first time we did it, I was a little nervous that we wouldn't do it consistently. But it's so fun
Yeah.
to where, like, I don't really care. Like, I mean, of course I care about, like, getting, like, downloads and shit. But at the same time, downloads isn't going to be the only reason I still do it, because it's fun.
It's almost therapeutic.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
therapeutic.
no, it really is at this point. Because for me, I'm just like, it's just an hour. I sit down, where I get to talk to my guys.
No other
And
distractions.
just, like, shoot the shit. It's just, there's no other distraction. I'm just shooting the shit. I'm talking about what we want to talk about.
I just
It's
feel like
pretty great.
Literally.
long-form conversation is kind of, like, lacking in our generation with, like, social media and
Yeah.
Well,
technology.
thanks to devices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because,
Yeah.
like, a tweet is, like, what, 180 characters? 250. It used to be 180.
They changed it to 240, I
240.
believe. Or 250,
Yeah, but, like,
whatever.
Yeah, that's
But,
right.
like, talking to you, like, we just talked for at least 100, I don't know, 1 hour and 20 minutes. And then probably some more.
Oh,
'cause
wow,
we didn't
yeah.
record the first probably, like, 20 minutes. So, like,
Yeah, we were straight up talking for a while.
I just feel like it's lacking and more people should have long-form conversations. So if you made it this far, we forgot again to put the word in the middle. Whatever word. Elijah, do you want to choose a
fuck.
word for everyone to text us?
Espresso.
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 Okay.
All right, y'all heard it.
Espresso.
Espresso. Espresso's the word.
So if you wanna join, if you wanna be a guest, all you really do need is, like, some sort of decent mic and a computer. So, I'll probably
Yeah,
be
like
texting.
Elijah's using Bose earbuds. They have good mics and shit like that. Like Apple ones.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Apple ones, they generally work. Just let us know. Message us.
Yeah, we'll definitely. I
You know?
think we'll try to have guests more often than not from now on, because I feel like it's gonna make
Yeah.
it more interesting to listen to. In
Yeah.
a sense, because I felt like we needed to, like,
I
freshen
learned,
things
I learned
up.
shit about coffee.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
I learned shit about coffee.
Especially
today.
if you
It
have
was a good
something
time.
like that you have a passion about, like Elijah does, and you want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
That would
Yeah.
be dope.
All right. Well, this is Tall and Taller and Taller as well signing off. It's a three-person combo today. It's the Wombo combo.
All right.
Wombo
All right.
combo.
Well,
Bye-bye.
yeah. Peace.